This video is brought to you by Granger Motors, where you can save up to $1,300 on a factory extended warranty on your new Ford or Ram, Jeep, Chrysler vehicle.
Today, I've got the 2025 Explorer ST, and I also have Andre to help me go over it with you.
Hi, Jen. So you said something really cool and fun. You called this brand new, refreshed 2025 Ford Explorer ST a sleeper hot rod.
A sleeper family hot ride.
Yes.
For sure.
And I love that. And how about this? How about in this first drive review, we kind of will go over all the features, but also talk about this because they've sold millions of Explorers.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For nearly 35 years.
Exactly. And this is the latest one. It's been refreshed. This is a 6th generation, but it also has over 400 horsepower.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Let's pop the hood. Let's take a look. Let's check it out. So by the way, the ST is not new, right? ST Explorer has been around for quite some time. This is just the latest iteration. And I had the opportunity to go and interview the engineers, right?
Yeah.
Interview the designers. And one thing that didn't change actually is the engine itself.
Oh, okay. So that's still the same.
Yeah, twin turbos, 3 liters, 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. So, and a 10-speed automatic.
It's so fast.
Yeah, and we'll get the chance to drive it, right?
I hope so.
Because, yeah. So this is kind of fun, right? Because they also have a 4-cylinder. You can get a 2.3 liter in this thing.
When you don't have to go pick up the kids so quickly.
I know, but why would you if you have this, right? If you have this available to you. And also, let's take a look from the profile. This is quite unique in the segment because a lot of other 3-row family crossovers have front-wheel drive architectures, right?
Right.
But this is not it. This is kind of a stretched rear-wheel drive architecture.
This is insane, and these red calipers as well, just to show you, it means some business.
Well, that's how people in the know will know, right?
Exactly.
But other than that, what do you think about the color, the design of the wheels? What do you think about the style?
Well, the color was the thing that really made me think that this really is a sleeper. This isn't a loud color that screams, attention or anything like that.
Right.
This is just kind of your run-of-the-mill gray. And, I think the pop of that red on the caliper is a nice little touch. But I think overall, it's, like I said, a sleeper.
And it's also very sleek, right?
It is,
yes. If you look at the roof line, but it doesn't mean that there's not a lot of room. I'm almost 6'3", and I'm, look at this. I'm pretty comfy.
You've got room.
Yeah, I've got leg room. I've got headroom, so it's pretty nice. Oh, and if you're worried about all of this new technology that's packed into this brand new Explorer, don't worry, because our friends at Granger Motors are the most popular sellers of factory-backed, so Ford-backed extended warranties. So if you want to keep this Explorer for over 3, 5, 7 years, you could check it out using the link in the description below. You could save some money because Granger Motors is one of the most popular sellers. You could service this vehicle under warranty, this extended warranty, at any Ford dealership across the country, and they have thousands of locations. And you can also take care of the technology pieces or powertrain pieces and all of the above. One thing that isn't weird, I'm glad this is happening right now because I had this over the weekend, and I told my son to open the hatch, and he came up to it and he was doing the same thing. And I said, and I talked to engineers and designers about it.
Yeah.
Do you see this? There's a little tiny arrow.
Oh.
Do you see that?
Now that you pointed out.
And the button is underneath it.
Well, that's not very
clear, is it?
That's not where they are 9 times out of 10.
But you could also open it with your key fob. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's multiple ways of opening it. And this is quite rare because they didn't send us the one with every option.
Right.
And they didn't send us an all-wheel drive model. This is kind of the most affordable new Ford Explorer ST, but it still has power third row. Just kind of goes away.
I feel like this is just the drag strip version.
Special.
This is just meant for hauling. And then what do we got down here, Andre? Just a little more storage.
Just a little storage.
Yep.
Little
cubbies back here.
Cubbies back
That's
here.
Nice to have.
There's a hitch. There's a hitch and also 7-pin connector and a 4-pin connector, so you can tow a variety of trailers. Usually the 4-pin is like smaller trailers with no brakes on the trailer, and then the 7-pin is for trailers with brakes. But this was weird. So before 2025 model, this one, the rating was 5,600 pounds, right? Pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
But then they changed it to 5,000.
It went down.
It went down. Usually you always go up.
Yeah.
Go up.
Improvements.
And I was talking to the engineers, and they're like, nobody was really screaming about more towing on this. I was kind of surprised about it.
Yeah.
So they didn't prioritize it.
Interesting.
What do you think about the quad exhaust here?
Well, I noticed it points down.
Yeah, right? It's kind of a fake outlet a little bit.
That is, I mean, it's a nice look, the chrome tips and everything. I do think that is aesthetically pleasing, but seeing that it just kind of curves down just kind of goes to show just how fake a lot of exhaust is now these days.
But I think it's kind of fun because I used to have an Audi A6 with kind of twin outlets, and I always had to like wipe all the residue off the exhaust
I have to do the same
pipes,
on my car.
right?
Yeah.
But this one, all the exhaust goes down, and this always stays clean.
It stays clean. That is a very good point because that issue that I have, I wouldn't have that issue if they were pointing down like that.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of fun, and we'll drive it in a second and hear, so we can hear a little bit of this engine. I wanted to ask you about the wheels. What do you think about the style there?
So I was looking at this. So we've got like kind of a split on one side and then solid on the other. I think it actually looks pretty cool.
And these are 21s.
They're 21s though.
But like, do they have to be 21s?
But this isn't necessarily geared for off-roading, so you don't really need the whole smaller wheel, bigger sidewall, but you do want a decent amount of sidewall for some flex when you are, going around some tight turns and everything. But this is a 45 series. That's not bad. At least it's not like a 30 series or something like that.
Yeah, and it's a Pirelli Scorpion Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's an all season.
It's a good all season.
Yeah, so it's not like all summer.
No.
It's not a
No.
summer only.
No. And definitely not really meant for winter either.
Right. Let's jump on the inside and check it out. The engine stayed the same, but the interior changed a lot.
Oh, it certainly did.
Yeah, and look at this.
This is a cool little Easter egg, one of many on this Explorer.
Yeah.
So this is the Chicago skyline, which is where this vehicle was built. Is that right, Andre?
Yeah, it's all American, right? I love this Ford Explorer. Then if you look down here, check this out. We have basically every generation of Ford Explorer kind of engraved into the center console, which is also kind of fun.
You got this cute guy up in the windshield here as well. And then on this side, we have the skyline of Detroit, which is where it was designed.
Jen, take a look. This Explorer ST has 1,270 pounds of payload.
Wow. So why are you always obsessed with this, Andre?
Well, I'm a truck dude. I'm a truck guy, and so that's important because this has 6 seats, right?
Right.
I'm a big dude, so can I put like 5 of my friends in here and still?
Truly.
So yeah, I always like to see that because if you're pulling a small trailer, that takes away from your payload a little bit as well. So that's a decent number, I think, for this size of vehicle.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, inside.
Yes.
This is actually pretty nice in here.
Look, it's welcoming us.
Oh, it is welcoming us.
We got digital displays everywhere.
You've got this nice charging pad for your phone. And one thing I noticed that I really like is it has this lip right here. So when you are getting on it, your phone isn't just ejecting right out of this shelf here. So
exactly.
I think they were really smart with how they designed that.
Yeah, and this whole entire dashboard is new, basically.
Yeah.
Right, because before you had kind of a vertical arrangement on the screen in the middle, and this is pretty neat, I think.
I like a lot of the different materials that they incorporated into the dash as well. It's not just one solid thing of whatever material, whether it be plastic, fabric, or anything like that.
A little bit of contrast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I like that it changes it up a little bit.
But here's the question.
Yeah.
While you let's start this up.
Yeah.
And this entire dashboard was inspired by something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I talked to the designer about this.
Inspired by something.
Yeah.
Should I guess?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, this cloth and everything looks, I don't know, it all looks kind of cozy in here. Like everything just kind of fits.
It's supposed to be a living room.
A living room?
Yes.
Oh, well, that is kind of cozy.
Yeah, so that's what the designer told me. So
that's
so
cool.
they imagine like these seats, which by the way, pretty comfy
They are.
and supportive.
Yeah.
Imagine like you're sitting on the couch, and this is your big screen TV on
Yeah.
the wall. You have a sound bar, right?
Oh,
You have,
right. That does look like a sound bar.
You have a speaker system here,
Uh-huh.
and he actually said he was thinking this is like a coffee table.
I could see that.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
kind of floating and
Yeah,
it's
it's
up
like
high
floating.
here.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
of a table.
I dig that. That's cool.
So I like that analogy or that inspiration
Yeah.
because it kind of feels familiar, right? And they used a lot of different, like you said, materials,
Mm-hmm.
and they put Explorer in this, which is kind of fashionable now to kind
Right.
of print the name of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And you also have a pretty beefy steering wheel.
I know this feels really wonderful too. One thing I am going to talk about is something you mentioned. So if you may remember, I'm not a fan of only touchscreens. I like to have some buttons integrated, which I am very happy to see, and it's got some nice action. This feels really good.
Yes.
But the one thing about touchscreens that I'm not a big fan of is when you're driving, you're bumping around, you can't actually press what you're trying to press on. But with this, I believe what the idea is for you to actually have something for you to rest your finger on so that you can press what you're trying to go for. And I think
there's a
that
little
is
shelf.
it's
Yeah.
such a great idea.
Yeah, it's like little things make a big difference.
It does,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
And the other thing is, like, we don't have a sunroof in this one.
Uh-huh.
Like I said before, it's kind of an interesting model that we got as a loan here
Mm-hmm.
because it's a little bit more affordable. It's very simple. You called it like the dragway,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
drag
I mean,
strip model.
and typically, cars that are geared more towards racing will save on weight, which
Yeah.
usually won't have a sunroof. They'll delete that option. So
That's why the
it
payload.
makes sense.
Payload.
Makes sense why there's no sunroof in this car.
Now, what about this? Ford is switching to rotary dials
Mm-hmm. Yep.
on their shifters.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I've been a big fan of the column shifters that have been more popular recently, but this one seemed pretty intuitive when I was driving it, and I do like it a lot. What are your thoughts on it?
I still prefer like you.
An
I prefer
actual-
a column
a
or
column?
like a big shifter here or like a column. There's a drive mode knob, which is a little bit smaller, so I understand they're different size.
Yeah.
But I'm not a humongous fan of this. But I do love the steering wheel, and also this does have Blue Cruise. So you get a 90-day free trial. There's you can buy monthly subscription to hands-free driving,
$50 a month,
$50 a month, or like an annual thing.
$4.95, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
That's
Yes.
not bad. So we've got a few different modes here. We've got tow, haul, sport, eco. We've got normal, slippery for wet and icy.
Oh, look, it's raining.
Yeah,
It's cool animations.
and then also for trail. So apparently this can go do some light off-roading.
Light off-roading, and when it's selected trail, look, it also disabled your traction control
did.
system. So I think it'll allow a lot of wheel spin. So maybe it thinks, like a gravel road, maybe, right? Or some,
Yeah, that
some
would make
loose
sense.
surface. But I wouldn't recommend off-roading this.
No,
Yeah,
not so much. These animations are incredible.
it's pretty sweet.
I mean, I feel like they put in a lot of time for these animations.
And I'm glad because they have digital screens. Why not, right?
I know.
You have a digital screen, so
Make it
let's
fun.
go. Let's do sport. Leave it in sport
Fine by me.
and see how it does. All right, let's see what she does. Oh, it actually has pretty good sound
Ooh,
too.
it sounds great.
Yeah,
Not bad for a family hauler.
exactly. For a 3-row, 6-person one.
This thing's
At that.
huge and it sounds incredible. Wow.
It's really fun. You know what? Being here in Colorado, near Denver, I see a lot of Explorer STs. And I think I was actually asking the folks at Ford about this, and they said that a lot of people like high elevations, right? People think they need more power,
Right.
and a lot of people love this. Additional, horsepower that this engine provides.
Oh yeah, that sounds so good.
Right? And I mean, some of it may be augmented, right? I mean, there could be a little bit of magic happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I think they did a good job. What do you think?
It sounds natural.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. You know what we should do? We should take it a little bit on a more twisty road too. A little bit faster.
So, Andre, you went to the world debut of this new Explorer, didn't you?
Yeah, I got lucky. So earlier this year, I went to Dearborn and I went to headquarters. I've been to headquarters before at Ford, but we went into the basement, into the studio, and it was pretty cool to kind of see, you know, how they do things over there. And then I actually drove it in Ann Arbor, Michigan as well. So we have a twisty road here. So what do you think? Is this really a sleeper hot rod?
I think this is a sleeper hot rod. This is not your grandfather's SUV, that's for sure. It doesn't have a whole lot of body roll. The steering is very responsive, and these turns are actually quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it is amazing. You and I were talking before we started filming about how popular the Explorer has been, right? They've built millions of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost 35 years. Next year, they're going to celebrate 35 years of building this thing. And I think everybody knows somebody or has a story about it, right?
Everyone knows someone or has owned their own Explorer.
Yeah.
You know, there's always like 1 degree of separation.
So I've been driving this for a little bit, Jen, over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I reset my trip meter, and 20.6 is not really amazing.
No.
I mean, it's actually kind of poor.
Yeah.
But we also haven't been easy on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how were you driving it?
I drove it on the highway quite a bit.
Okay.
So I went to Fort Collins. It says fuel me up.
Oh, I guess we have been driving it.
It says fuel me up. So that's one downside of this ST, right? I mean, it's really fun, I think, but efficiency, it's not its forte. But now I think we need to talk about value a little bit.
Yeah,
and
so
see how much it costs.
So this is the ST option, and this is coming in at like about a little over $56,000.
Exactly, and if it was a four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive model, you would add a little bit of money to it. You could add additional style to it, different colors. You could actually build it up into the probably $60,000+ range.
Yep.
But at $56,000 for what you're getting, 400 horsepower, this entire interior, which I think we agree, it's well made. I think it's pretty good value.
I think it is a great value, especially for the horsepower and everything you're getting. It's an incredible family hauler.
And it's a sleeper, family hot rod. Sweet. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. And also check out everything at oldtfl.com. And we'll see you next time.